What is up, YouTube? This is Taylor Moss here from Everything Under the Sun, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up Windows XP inside of Windows 7 using VirtualBox by Oracle software. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just open up Google and type in a VirtualBox, and it will take you to virtualbox.org. Down here you can click on downloads and download whichever version is right from you and just install that. It's pretty straightforward and basic. Once that's done, you open it up and it'll look like this. This will not be here. I've already installed Windows XP just to test it out, and so ignore that. So now if we go to new here, it'll take you to the new virtual machine wizard. We'll name it, we'll just name this WinXP. You select what type of version it is. Yes, you can do Mac OS X if that is something you'd like to do. So do Microsoft Windows XP is what we're going to be doing for this. And here is where you set up how much RAM your virtual operating system will have. For this, I'll just set up 4 gigabytes because that's the most that Windows, being a 32-bit operating system, can handle. So then we'll hit next. Alright, here we'll just leave that as default. Leave that as default. And now here, this is something you'll have to want to decide. This will be dynamically allocated storage or fixed size storage. This is how much of your current hard drive space will be allocated to the new operating system. So I'll just do a fixed size for now and do something like, we'll do 30 gigabytes. In fact, we'll just type that in. So we got 30 gigabytes. Just name it Windows XP. I was supposed to type out the gigabytes. Either way, we have 30 gigabytes. You just hit next, and then you hit create. So this will take just a minute or two, and what this is actually doing is like creating the virtual computer that this is going to run on with the specifications you gave it, how big the hard drive is, how big the RAM is, how big this, that, and the other is. Alright, now that that is finished making our virtual disk drive, you just have to click the create button here and it will make your virtual machine. Now what you can do from here is click on the settings up in the top corner here, and it will let you choose a few different specific things you'll need to change. Here you can change the RAM or whatever. You can make sure you have networking enabled so you can get it on the internet. If you go to your processor, you can say how many CPUs you have, or whether you have a quad core, dual core, hex core, that type of thing. Under acceleration, you can enable things like I have an AMD processor, so I have AMD virtualization, and I'll throw a screenshot up right here. I'll show you guys where to find that in the BIOS, at least on Gigabyte motherboards. And then there's a few other options, but the one you need to make sure, I'm going to turn my video memory up as well, but the main one you need to do is on your storage, there'll be this right here, which is your hard drive, and then there'll be this empty CD. This is your IDE secondary master, which is essentially like your CD drive. So you'll click here and click choose virtual CD. I have a Windows XP ISO right here. You just click on that and click OK. Then from there, you will just start your machine. You'll get a lot of these pop-ups, and they're just saying, hey, you have a keyboard. You hold right control to not be in the virtual machine anymore and come back to whatever you're running in by default. And then it'll basically just run just like any other computers. Basically, from this point on, it's just like you plugged in your CD or USB stick with Windows on it right into the computer. Everything's totally standard, except for the fact that everything's really, really fast, because instead of taking files from a CD and putting them on the hard drive, or taking files from USB and putting them on the hard drive, it's just moving files that are already on the hard drive to a different spot on the hard drive. Again, you'll get these little pop-ups. Just don't worry about them. You can make sure they don't come up if you want. Anyways, yeah, just like any old Windows XP, you just click your partition, do a quick NTFS format. It does not take long. Everything when you're installing takes maybe 10 minutes to do entirely, because it's just really, really fast and really, really optimized, because everything's already on your hard drive. Alright, now you can see here that it just restarted your computer. It's gonna say press any boot to boot from CD, and then it's just gonna go right into the Windows setup just like it would normally. And now for time, I'm not actually going to show you guys the whole setting up Windows XP and all of that because that you don't really need a tutorial for. It just asks you a bunch of questions, you know, what's your name, all that type of stuff. Alright, so now just for the sake of time, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when you're finally finished. So if you just click on your finished already installed Windows XP and hit start, it'll ask you if you want to boot from CD. You can boot anything from the CD by going back into the settings that I showed you earlier up in here where we mounted the disk originally. You can mount video games there, anything else you'd like to install to your VirtualBox. It's not limited on that. And it'll basically just start up just like Windows. You'll hear the sounds, everything will start. And it really is just like you have a computer within a computer. There's nothing really fancy about that. It works great. And that's basically how you get Windows XP on to Windows 7, or you can do it the opposite way. You can have Windows XP and get Windows 7 or Vista or Mac OS, anything you'd really like. So yeah, I hope you guys like the tutorial. If you guys have any questions or suggestions for future tutorials, just let us know in the comment section below. And as always, if you guys like this, please like it or subscribe. Thanks.